Hey everybody, it's me, That One Weeb here, back with another episode of What If Naruto Was an Alchemist, Part 8. In the last part, we introduced that Naruto had defeated Gaara, as well as is now looking for Tsunade with Jiraiya's help. And last time, we just got to the point where Naruto opened the door and found Itachi, Uchiha, and Kisame standing there, staring down at him. So let's get back right into the story. Naruto reaches over to the doorknob and twists it slightly. As he pulls the door open, a loud creak can be heard on the wood. And as he opens it, he stares up into the cold black and red eyes of Itachi Uchiha. As Itachi looks down, Naruto's eyes widen as Itachi tries to put him into the genjutsu. As Itachi tries to genjutsu Naruto, Itachi is shocked that nothing happens. Nothing works. The genjutsu fails on Naruto, and Naruto leaps backwards, not knowing what's going on. He then slams his hand into the ground, and then clasps his hands together and puts it into the ground, causing a wall of wood to shoot up from the ground, where he just formed it in front of them. Itachi is then, interrupted when Kisame slices through the wood with Samahara. Kisame rushes at Naruto and then slams him with the sword, draining some of Naruto's chakra. Naruto goes flying back out of the building, glass shattering through the back windows as they fall into the street and continue the fight there. Naruto's going pace to pace with Kisame at this point. As Kisame swings Samahara at Naruto, Naruto then clasps his hands together and then puts his left hand out, using the destructive ability of alchemy on his sword. Samihara immediately is melted into nothing, and at that point, then we see that Kisame is horrified and falls on top of the particles. As Kisame tries to absorb Samihara as well as try and protect it so that he can continue to use its power, Itachi then jumps down out of the building as Naruto had just displayed that he has a lot too much strength for just one of them to handle. Naruto at this point is in the open and can use more things to draw alchemy circles on, and he uses some more of the alchemy knowledge that he learned from the truth and tries to make a wall of flame. He rushes to one side of the building and pulls chalk out of his side pocket. He immediately begins drawing the transmutation circle for a flame. He then pulls an ignition out and then ignites it because it's not raining that day. Suddenly, a wall of flame bursts out of the wall, and Itachi pulls Kisame out of the way. As they rush backwards, then Itachi uses his own fireball jutsu to cause a rush of air in between the firewall, and then jumps through after Naruto. Naruto and him battle for a while in taijutsu, which Itachi is completely outclassing Naruto in. Naruto is using alchemy just to avoid Itachi. He uses his alchemy to push the ground around, as well as make it harder for Itachi to move. Itachi is continuously trying to use genjutsu on Naruto, and none of them are working. Itachi is then determined if he should actually try using his Mangekyo Sharingan, and he does. Itachi activates Mangekyo Sharingan and then gets a look into Naruto's eyes. He tries to put him into the ultimate genjutsu that he had learned from Shisui, and nothing happens. Naruto, as soon as he does this, Itachi actually falls into something. Itachi wakes up in a white room, and he thinks he just put himself in his own genjutsu. However, when he wakes up, he sees something. It looks to be a child without eyes, and it's the truth. Itachi just saw the truth, and as Itachi sees the truth, the truth laughs at him and tells him that kind of stuff isn't going to work on this kid. He then flicks Itachi, and Itachi goes flying out of the room and back into the real world, still being confused about what the heck that genjutsu was. Itachi and Naruto continue fighting, and now that Itachi knows that genjutsu doesn't work at all on this kid, and he's quite amazed. This kid he thinks must be a very good genjutsu user himself if he's going to be able to block that, as well as extremely talented. However, by this point, Naruto's held off Itachi and Kisame enough for Jiraiya to come back and save him. Jiraiya comes bursting out of the hotel room, dives down, and activates his Sage Arts frog jutsu, the frog stomach jutsu. He surrounds him and Naruto as well as defending him from Kisame and Itachi's wrath. At this point, Kisame is really pissed off as his sword has just been destroyed, and now he needs to find a way to fix it. So him and Itachi escape while he's enraged. Naruto, who has no idea what he just did, is thanking Jiraiya for saving him, and then tells them they should get moving before those guys come back again. At this point, Jiraiya tells him that he has to be more careful because of people like that called the Akatsuki who were trying to take him and hit him because he's a Jinchuriki. Naruto, who already knows that he has a fox demon inside of him, tells Jiraiya that he understands and he'll look out for stuff like that. Jiraiya then continues with Naruto on their way as they leave that village and go on to find the same one where they ran into Tsunade. A few days before Jiraiya and Naruto had got there, Tsunade had been approached by Orochimaru to fix his arms after what the third Hokage had done to him. Tsunade had, of course, declined at first until he offered his deal for her back, and now she was contemplating it over a nice cold drink. Jiraiya and Naruto walk into the bar, and Naruto's red cloak waves behind him, and his black gloves are back on. As Naruto continues to walk with Jiraiya, then Jiraiya actually tells Naruto something. Naruto, when you were fighting against the guy, not Itachi Uchiha, the one from the Mist Village, Naruto replies that he understands, yeah. Jiraiya tells him, you probably could have used your arm. Naruto, confused, says, what do you mean? Jiraiya explains that the sword that Naruto had destroyed with his arm, by the way, the Executioner Blade, he had destroyed Samihara, one of the 7 demon blade swords of the mist. Naruto eyes wide as he realized he had used one of the swords itself to break the other sword. Naruto is then explained to by Jiraiya that if he had been found out to be having the Executioner Blade by Kisame, he would have ripped his arm off. Naruto goes a little pale at this and tells Jiraiya he'll be more careful. At that point, Naruto and Jiraiya walk over to Tsunade and sit down. Tsunade then asks them what they want, and Naruto explains, as well as Jiraiya, mostly Jiraiya, that for one, Jiraiya, they need a new Hokage for the 5th Hokage position. Tsunade laughs at this proposal at first, and then Naruto butts in and says, actually, I'm not here, I came to find something else out. He then asks Tsunade, he says, Lady Tsunade, would you please train me in the arts of alchemy? Tsunade's eyes open and she asks Jiraiya if this kid's serious. Jiraiya nods his head and tells Naruto to take them outside and show her what he knows. Naruto nods and takes Tsunade outside. Tsunade watches as Naruto places his hands on the ground and activates alchemy without a transmutation circle. Tsunade's eyes widen and then she pulls Naruto away from Jiraiya's hearing. She then asks Naruto and asks him about it, if he tried to perform human transmutation. Naruto, not knowing what this is, as he has not learned that much about he hadn't learned the taboos of alchemy or anything other than the truth, as well as the actual how to do it. He didn't know it was bad to do human transmutation. He explains to her what he did to save Sasuke and how he had basically died in the Land of Waves. Naruto then shows Tsunade his arm, and Tsunade is horrified. Tsunade then explains to him that she's also seen the truth and survived from it. That long ago, during the Great Ninja War, her boyfriend, or person who she had hoped to be her husband, had been killed in battle, and she tried using alchemy to save him. It didn't work, however, and instead it just brought this disgusting, terrible creature into the world that was nothing like him. Then Tsunade pulled back her left pant leg and showed her own metal leg. He then asks her if hers can do anything like this. He then turns his metal arm into the sword of the Executioner Blade tipped at the edge, and stabs something. Tsunade then is impressed with this and says it's actually a pretty cool idea. Tsunade tells him that she'll train him as long as he promises never to do human transmutation ever again. He agrees, and then Tsunade says that she'll train him as long as they get to have a fight first. Naruto gets ready and they head back over to Jiraiya. Tsunade then challenges Naruto and says that if Naruto wins, then she'll train him, and if she wins, then she doesn't have to come back. Then she'll train him still, but she doesn't have to be the Hokage. Naruto sees a good deal in this, and Jiraiya is actually pretty confident in Naruto. Naruto immediately blitzes forward and then has his hand next to Tsunade's face. Tsunade is scared by this point, as Naruto is far stronger in this timeline. Naruto then places his hand on the wall behind her, and then immediately the entire wall disintegrates into ash. At that point, she turns around and notices that Naruto had carved the flame symbol in the top of his hand. Naruto had just used flame alchemy to melt a wall behind her. He then asks her if she's sure she wants to keep going. She smiles and says, of course, and then punches the ground, causing a large crater. Naruto and Tsunade get into a taijutsu bout, and then Naruto uses some more alchemy. Naruto fixes the ground, then he uses a shadow... Bleh. Then he uses his alchemy to create another flame. Tsunade then, with her own alchemy, touches the flame and turns it back into ash. Then Naruto is then told to stop by Tsunade. Tsunade says that's enough and that it was a good fight. Naruto nods excitedly and she says that she'll go back to the village. Once they get back to the village, Naruto on the way back asks her that if she could heal Sasuke as well as Kakashi. At this point, Orochimaru is watching them as Tsunade is leaving, and he's cursing his luck that Jiraiya and that other kid are there. Kabuto suggests that they actually go after them, and Orochimaru disagrees, saying that after watching that fight that Kabuto had told him about from spying on Lady Tsunade versus that kid, they probably have 3 Sannin level fighters down there, and that they can't take them alone. Then he says that they'll just have to go to Plan B and get Sasuke Uchiha on their side. Kabuto agrees and they head back to their base. Once Naruto gets back, Tsunade is then instated as the 5th Hokage and immediately begins training with Naruto, showing him other ways he can use alchemy, and telling him that using gloves and other items you can actually create, like in alchemy and transmutation circles on things to work differently. For example, she says that if you put that flame alchemy transmutation circle on a glove and put it on, you can actually use just flame alchemy ignition without having to continually reuse different ones or draw different ones. Naruto is then taught several different things about alchemy, as well as how, like, the basic rules of alchemy more so, and this helps Naruto understand alchemy far better. At this point, Sasuke is seeing how much Naruto has grown over the past few weeks, and it's beginning to cause him to feel some sadness as well as rage about thinking about his brother Itachi and how Naruto had fought him and how he was nothing compared to him. Then Sasuke challenges Naruto to a fight. Naruto agrees and they get into a fighting position. Naruto uses his destructive aspect of alchemy and destroys the ground beneath them. Sasuke dives into the air and uses a flame jutsu, which Naruto then combats with his own flame alchemy. The flames interact with each other and then burst themselves out after running out of oxygen. At this point, Naruto and Sasuke finally get into a serious fight, as Naruto has not learned the Sharingan in this timeline, but Sasuke still has the Chidori. Sasuke uses the Chidori and Naruto uses his destructive alchemy. As his executioner blade hand and the Chidori come together, Kakashi doesn't make it in time and Naruto uses his destructive alchemy. Immediately, the Chidori is completely fizzled out as Naruto just destroyed the atoms of the chakra that Sasuke had been bending into electricity. Sasuke falls to the ground and Naruto comes out victorious. This pisses Sasuke even more off and he walks off into the distance. Sakura tries to run after him, but Kakashi then stops her and asks what happened. Naruto goes walking off and thinks about everything he's learned from the past few weeks and how much the 3rd Hokage would be proud of him if he'd known about it. He's about to go over to Sasuke when he decides not to. And at that point, 4 people from the Sound Village come to extract Sasuke Uchiha. If you guys want to see the finale to What If Naruto Was an Alchemist, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and comment down below. And also, there'll be another video coming out today, so if you guys are excited for that, please let me know, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
It's black and white.